And I tell you, every time I hear myself on these lectures, I just feel like I just sound like I'm from Wisconsin, which I am, but it didn't think I sounded well, whatever. Okay, I am who I am. Okay, in this video, I got a little, there we go. So we put in these two curtain walls here, which is pretty straightforward. You're just sort of chucking them in and using the system settings of that particular curtain wall. Let me select one. The system settings to sort of make the curtain wall. In this next one, we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to get a little more custom and make it from scratch. And we are going to make a really cool curtain wall that lives here in our entry vestibule area that has two doors coming in, two glass doors. And then we can break up the curtain wall as we see fit. Okay. So here's what I know I want. I want the glass to go from wall to wall. So this kind of wall to here. I want it to also be the same height as this wall. I want two doors in it, and let's start there, and then we'll make some other changes. So I'm just going to start architecture wall architectural, and I'm just going to start with a glass wall, curtain wall 1. I'm going to put it in the wrong location just to get it in there. Then I'm going to align it, modify. So I just went to modify. Sorry, let me get out of there. Modify, align, and I'm going to align it to this wall and to this wall. So I have basically a sheet of glass in there, right? Let's go to the 3D view. All right, so I want this curtain wall to be the same height as this one. So I'm going to drag this down, see if I can, and it's not really letting me. Here's a good way. I'm going to put it back up. Go to my align tool. I'm going to click over here. See that right there? That's right where I want that height. So I'm going to click that, align, and then click this, and then that will be at the same height. Very nice. Thank you, Revit. Okay, so I have the glass where I want it. It's not actually in the shape. Let's do something different and a little more interesting. So let's go to this elevation. So I'm going to go to my level 1 floor plan, and I'm going to go to my little elevation marker for the west elevation so that I can see that side of the building flat. Okay, wonderful tool here on Revit. Let me just see what's going on here. So one thing you're noticing is I am seeing the structural file level markers and the architectural level markers, which can be a little confusing. But yeah, this is my, see when I click it, the whole thing selects. That's from my structural file. Tragic that they're appearing right there, but we'll just leave them for now. Okay, so I'm going to click this curtain wall. So I might have to tab through to get it. Now I want to make this a little more interesting. So here's what I want to do. I want to have two doors in the middle, but I want it to come up and go over. So I want a chunk of brick here, and I want a chunk of brick there on either side of the glass doors. So I want the brick to be at the height of these windows. So I want this brick to sort of come in and go down my two doors, come back up and go over. So how do we do that? So I'm going to click on that curtain wall again. I'm going to go up to edit profile right here. Okay, after you click the curtain wall, you'll see it there, edit profile. Now, if I click that, I'm in a tool now. I am in the curtain wall edit profile tool, and I know I'm in a tool because I see the red X and the green check. So what I'd like to do here is redefine what the boundary of my curtain wall is. So one thing I know is I want the doors in the middle. So I want these doors to be probably 6 feet wide. I want the opening to be 6 feet wide. So I just drew a random line. I'm going to move it over 3 feet there, and then I'll copy it over 6 feet. Okay, so that's where I want that. Now I want a line about, somewhere in here. I'll align it in a moment. I want this line to be at the height of this window. So I'm going to go to my align tool, click the bottom of the window, click the line, click the bottom of the window, click that line. Now I need to clean this up so it's one continuous line shape. So I'm going to go to my trim extend to corner tool, and I'm just going to go through and clean all this up. Just like that. So now I have one line defining where my curtain wall is. That looks good. Lines up with the bottom of these windows. I'm going to hit the green check. And now my curtain wall is a little different shape, right? It has a break in it where the doors are going to be, and I got brick coming in, so that looks pretty cool. So if I go to the 3D view, there it is. Okay, so where do we go from here? So let's go to that view again, and let's select our curtain wall. There it is. Now we need to sort of break this up, right? So how do we go from, I showed you that first one, curtain wall 1 sheet of glass, to exterior glazing has breaks in the glass and divisions. How do I get divisions in here? So I'm going to go to architecture, build panel, and I want to go to curtain grid right there. So I'm going to click curtain grid. Now notice if I hover over the top, it'll help me make vertical lines. If I hover over the side, it'll help me make horizontal lines. I know I want one like right in line with this opening. So I'm going to do one there. I'm going to do one there. Now is a good time to see what you did in the other curtain wall, because it'd be good to do similar. So they did one break right in the middle, right? I did one break right in the middle. Let's see where that lands. I don't know if that's going to look good. So something like down 7 feet, I think it would be. Yeah, 7 and 7, which actually could work, because then these doors would be 7 feet high, which is pretty typical. Now, one thing I noticed is that, this curtain wall is really not talking to these at all. It'd be kind of cool if this was a little curtain wall and I can put a little division right there so I could see a mullion going all the way through, right? That's something to think about. Maybe we can add it later. I'm going to add another division here. I'm just going to add these in. I don't know if they're, just like the other one or what, but that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to add one right in the middle here. Now, what I'd like to do is so I have all the divisions I want right now, but I want to put double doors in here. So I want to put a door right here and a door right here. Now I've loaded in a family that I'm going to give to you. I'll load in a single door and a double door. Let me just show you how those work. Let's say I want to turn this into a double door. Okay, what I need to do is hover over, and I can select the grid line, or if I just hit tab, can actually select the panel of glass. So I'm going to select the panel of glass. And I'm going to go up to my type selector, and I loaded in these doors already. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to show you what happens. Okay, that's a little goofy, right? It put 2 doors in for one panel. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I don't want 4 tiny doors here. I want 1 door and a double door. So how would I go about that? So let me undo this. The way to do that is that we have to turn this into one panel, but we have a division here. How do we get rid of it? It's actually quite simple. So I'm going to select that division. I'm going to go up to my toolbar and click Add Remove Segments. Now I'm going to click the segment I don't want right here. You saw a change there, and click in space. And now that segment is gone. Okay. I hit escape a couple times. Rewatch it a couple times if you need to. Now I'm going to tab through and select the whole panel. Go up to that new type, door, curtain wall, double glass, and boom, there. Now I have doors on either side. So let's see how that looks in plan. Yep, here are doors right here. I'm going to switch them over. Those are our curtain wall doors. That looks good. Let's go to my 3D. They're in there right now. They kind of just look like the rest, but now we need to sort of add. That looks a little goofy. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go to our elevation. Yeah, looks good here. Well, let's do this. Let's add mullions to this now and see what it looks like. So here's an easy way to add mullions. I'm going to tab through, grab my curtain wall, could go into edit type and add them that way, right? I go edit type and I could change these right here and just do what I want. Notice that vertical and horizontal grid have nothing in them because we actually divided this up by hand. We just did it how we wanted to do it. Okay. So I have my curtain wall selected. I'm going to go to architecture, mullion, and I'm going to check all grid lines right here. It's already set to the type of mullion I want, and I'm just going to select my whole curtain wall. Now you might get something like this. Just hit delete type. I don't know. Missing curtain wall replace. Okay. Place panels. All right, let's see what happened here. So we got some goofiness going on here, I can tell. First off, we might have to adjust our curtain wall profile a little bit to account for this. Looks like we lost our doors, but that's okay. We'll get them back. So why don't we do that? So I'm going to grab my curtain wall here. There we go. And I'm going to click edit profile. Okay, you can see where this is, why this is happening. So I'm going to go to modify, or align rather. Hit tab, move that one over. Hit tab, move that one over. Hit the green check. That already looks better. Sometimes I just click through the little warnings that come up. Just, you got to kind of play with it. All right, that's looking better. Okay, the only problem is I see like a mullion here. Like, what the hell's going on, right? So let me just tab to select that mullion. I'm just going to delete it. All I did was click delete. Now I'm going to grab this panel again, and I'm going to change it to the double doors. Okay, we're back in business, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, let's go level 1 floor plan. Yep, our double doors are in there. And now we're seeing the mullions in there. So that's looking actually really good. I think I want to remove this mullion though. I don't want that one. So I'm going to grab the actual mullion, delete it. I still have the division there. So I'm going to grab the division line, do the add remove segments, click the division line. I'll just say, delete element and click in space. There we go. So let's look at our west elevation. So that looks pretty good for now. Okay. So there, we've just made a custom curtain wall. This might not be exactly how I want it to look, but we're getting there. So what's kind of cool is that this mullion line matches the curtain wall on the other side. So there's some sort of rhyme or reason happening here. God, this view looks insane. Let's do perspective. There's some sort of rhyme or reason happening there, aligning both of these curtain walls. Now let's just make this. I'm going to make this into a big slit curtain wall right there. I'm just going to do something a little crazy. So I'm going to go to level 1 floor plan. I'm going to make it right next to the window, and then I'll delete the window. So I'm going to go to wall, architectural. This one will be significantly easier. I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to draw a line that's 18 inches. Okay, I've made a little curtain wall there. To my west elevation. Here it is. Don't want it that high. I want it. I'll do, say, I'll have to use the align tool. Modify, align. Top of the curtain wall, top of the curtain wall. And I'll do here and there. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Actually, I want this to be 2 feet long because these we changed to 2 feet. So let's do that. Going to move it down a little bit. I'm going to replace this window as soon as I get it designed. Okay, let's add some divisions. So we already have a division going around the border, so a mullion will happen there. Let me grab that. Let's go to architecture, curtain grid. Okay, so I'm going to do one right where this occurs. Well, here, I'll just put it in the wrong spot for now. And go to my align tool and line that one up. And now I'm going to grab this curtain wall. And then go to architecture, mullion, all grid lines, select my curtain wall, and there we go. Now I have exactly the slit like this, but it goes all the way to the top. So that's kind of cool. So let's figure out exactly where this is. So I'm going to go to annotate detail line, and I'm just going to draw a line right here so I know where to put it. Grab this window and delete it. I'm going to grab this curtain wall, and I'm going to say move. Put it right there. Okay, so now I could change these ones too. Now that I have them in the, actually, I'll delete these. Here's a good way to do it. I got one in the right location right here. I'm going to grab that curtain wall system. I'm going to go over here and go copy. There. So I put another one in. Now I'm going to do copy again, but this time I'll check multiple. And I'll go there and there. I believe they're in the same location. Go to my west elevation. Now that's starting to really look kind of cool. Like I might change these out completely. I have no idea. So let's go to my 3D view. Ooh, that's looking kind of cool. I like how this line sort of comes around and keeps wrapping. We've got our entry here. We could do a cool canopy over this. I mean, you could do your entire project out of curtain walls, or you can do a combination of punched openings and curtain walls. So hopefully this will get you comfortable with the 3 types of curtain walls. Just remember that, let me go to the 3 types. Curtain wall 1, exterior glazing, and storefront are the 3 types. You can mess with these by just making one. So I'll just do one right out here. And you can I can turn this into storefront by just, hitting edit type and messing with these. Or I can duplicate it, make a whole different one and call it curtain wall 2, curtain wall 3, curtain wall 4. So you could have like 5 different types. Totally your call how you want to do it, but just get in there and get comfortable with curtain walls, play around, and try to at least maybe do what I did. For starters, that will get you very comfortable with doing what you want to do in your project. So this week's assignment is going to be get windows and get curtain walls, punch windows and curtain walls into your project and lay them all out where they need to be. Do not be afraid of blank exterior walls that have no windows, okay? Less is more in this case. So find your big moves, stick to your big moves. Don't make Swiss cheese out of your projects. It won't look good, okay? This is getting a little Swiss cheesy. So maybe there only wants to be like 2 windows here instead of 4, all right? Because you got this giant window over here. So just something to think about. All right, guys, talk to you soon.